Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from MegaPorkChopExpress. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for Hellsing Ultimate OVA Episode 2. It's definitely much more of the style and gore. If you like style and you like gore, then you probably enjoy this. Because there's a good chunk of action, there's a lot of gore. This episode is pretty straightforward. It's our main vampire, Alucard. You have the Miss Victoria, Saris, the lady, the cop who's been turned to a vampire, who's a bit of a sniper. And then you have this butler called Walter, and they're looking after this group of people, this chamber of people. And the mansion gets attacked by these two vampire brothers and their ghoul army. And it's kind of a siege movie where the lead doesn't get a whole lot to do until the finale, although it's some fun stuff in that. And he only does it to the one vampire brother. Like, you don't have him like killing a lot of the ghouls. That's mainly due to he's in the basement. The other killing is done by Miss Victoria and the butler character. And the butler character has this thing with wires that he uses to cut things apart. And like I said, Miss Victoria has a sniper. So it goes from them doing stuff to the two vampire brothers and their ghoul army killing a lot of soldiers in this mansion. Now, like I said, it's very much stylistic. I mean, it brings up like this new gun, the Jackal, these 13mm explosive shells, and the cam is idling the weapon, and on the weapon there's a line that says, "Jesus Christ is in heaven now." You know, the voice work for an English dub is fairly decent, because I've heard a lot of crappy English dubs, but English dub in this is pretty good for what it is. Once in a while there's a bit weird comedy, like early on, where it goes almost this, I was going to say anime, but it is anime. These weird color scheme, because she's complaining about having a coffin to sleep in and not a bed. But pretty soon, like pretty quickly, that's when the attack happens. And the two vampire brothers who are our villains in this episode, one is much more the sophisticated, and he's the one that goes more into trying to find our lead character in the basement and kill him. And the other is foul-mouthed. He got really annoying, the other vampire brother. I love cursing as much as the next person. I curse a lot as well. But this one, I mean, it's a vampire if he was in a Rob Zombie movie. You just need a little bit redneckness in his voice. Now again, if you like style and you like gore, and I like that too, so I just say I had fun with this episode, it's worth a look. I mean, the guards, they get half their heads cut off, they get limbs cut off, blood spraying everywhere. There's more blood in this than the Evil Dead trilogy combined. There's blood everywhere, on the floor, on the wall, on the screen. Paint the walls red. Gory, gory, gory. And there's some nice shots, like when the more sophisticated brothers going after our lead. And there's a bit where we see it in the reflection of our lead character's sunglasses. Like we have the sunglasses and we see the bad guy walking towards him. And that'll cut to, again, the butler and the female cop vamp taking out these ghouls. Like I said, the butler has this like wire whip thing that he uses and cuts a lot of the ghouls apart. Both of them fuck up the annoying vamp. While again, good looking style and camera work. Like there's a bit where she has the Miss Victoria has the sniper, and the camera pans from far away all the way towards her, up towards the barrel for her to shoot, and that's done a few times. There's even a bit in the movie where she's getting ready to be attacked, but she becomes feral and starts taking out these ghouls left and right. Definitely a fun, satisfying moment. And it's not just that she's not, she doesn't just become a victim or she just forgets, like, lady, you're a vampire. Don't forget that. Thankfully, they don't. It's like, yeah, she is a vampire. And she just goes for tearing these ghouls apart. That was cool. That was satisfying. That was fun to watch. My point in repeating that is that there's nothing, at least in this episode, deep about it. Like, there's nothing deep about it. There's really no character work. There's no character development. There's like a little bit deeper in the story where you find out at the very end that the bad guys are the Millennium Order of the Third Reich. As Indiana Jones would say, Nazis. Why'd it have to be Nazis? He didn't, well, no. He didn't say that. He said, I hate these guys. But okay, I mean, that's what it involves with. Okay, I mean, from what I read up, some people had a big issue with that. Like, Nazis? And it's like Nazi vampires? I'm like, I mean, there's Nazi zombies. What was that movie? Yeah, there's a lot of Nazi zombie movies, so why not Nazi vampires? There was Werewolf Women of the SS that Rob Zombie directed for Grindhouse. That was, I guess, Nazi werewolves, so now you just need Nazi aliens. Can you imagine that? An alien like that look like xenomorphs, but they come down and they study Hitler. So it's xenomorph looking creatures, but they keep doing this. And they like scratch a swastika on their cheek and their forehead. Maybe I gave someone an idea. Feel free to do it. Just give me the residuals. But, like I say, it was fun. It was entertaining. It was pretty fast paced. I wasn't too bored with it. Like I said, there's nothing deep about it. I wish to see Alucard get a little bit more. We've seen him kill the ghouls in the first episode, so I understand. Let the butler, because he becomes an important character later on. Let him be showcased as his nickname. His moniker is the Angel of Death, so he showcases how he gets that moniker. The female cop get her moments to shine. Like I said, some nice sniper shots. Like I said, the one vampire just got really annoying, though. Really irritating. I think they really went overboard in his annoyance. I wish he got more of a comeuppance. Like, I wish he got a comeuppance from Alucard because he was so cocky and talking so much shit. It'd be nice for the main vamp to... kind of what happens to the other one. I wish he did that to this character. I know I'm being vague. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Getting the spoilers. So, the other more sophisticated vampire, he's cocky to a bit as well, and he thinks he's got our lead on the run. I keep wanting to call him Hellsing, but he's not Hellsing. He's Alucard. But then he just doesn't realize the true power our lead character has. And he's like, you think that's being a vampire? And he stands up. It's very interesting visuals. There's like an eyeball coming out of our lead character's chest. His arm becomes like a dog in a dog's mouth. It reminded me of John Carpenter's The Thing, which was cool. He shoots up the bad guy vampire's legs. And it's like, man, you know what? You saying these other things? I gave you too much credit. You just a dog, pretty much you ain't shit, man. I thought you were. It's it is interesting to have your hero or your anti-hero, I should say, be the one that's like, you ain't shit, huh? Now some would complain that the lead is very OP. So if you don't want a character that's very OP and very OP meaning overpowered, maybe the show wouldn't be for you. I can understand that because if he has no faults and deficiencies, how can you have suspense? But at the same time, I think some people like the show, understandably so, because they just want to see a lead character kick ass. Like John Wick has, you could John Wick has weaknesses, but you say he's OP with his shooting, and I love it for it. I love every minute of it. So I understand that frame of mind. I truly do. So that frame of mind, I understand. I understand the enjoyment out of this. And so where our lead is talking shit like, I thought you were worth more shit. You ain't shit. You called me a dog? Well, if I'm dog, then you're dog food. It eats the vampire up with his, like, dog arm thing. I thought that was pretty creative. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, oh shit type of moment. That's why I wish he did that to the annoying vampire brother. The one who was like talking so much. He was the one talking much more shit. And she's so cocky and this and that. And I wish he got more of a comeuppance. Because what happens with him is he just shot up a little bit. But then he's like, well, if I'm supposed to tell you, you think the organization I work for is going to let me live? And I guess there's some kind of self-destruct thing, or not self-destruct, but some kind of thing that organization has. Say, oh, look, see, I'm burning up. Take that, motherfucker. Gives a middle finger. It's like, ah, man. Even though it dies, he got the last word in. And again, that was like the most annoying character so far in the show. And I say, I wish our lead was able to eat his sorry ass. So I wish that character had a bit more of a comeuppance. I wish would have been nice to see Alucard, even though we saw in the previous episode, shoot a bit of the ghouls, take care of a bit of the ghouls. But yeah, I get what they were going for. Sorry there's reviews all over the place. Because like I say, it's a pretty straightforward episode. You have one location, one goal, it's this battle that happens, and it becomes pretty much one long battle. And I'm not really complaining about it. Because you know what? It is very stylistic. It is very gory. The dubbing's not that bad. I guess story-wise, you get a little bit at the end to know who the bad guys in the future are. And apparently these are... the vamps are controlling... like the vamps are being controlled. And there's a big conspiracy. That's why it seems like the vampires are not doing stuff random. They're being controlled and organized to do things. And you find it's from the Nazis. The Nazis are back and they're pissed off. So, I like to say, it depends what you're going into this for. I would assume a lot of people that go into anime, they go into it for either... well, there's some going for sex. Or violence. And there's some that do go into it more to story. You say like Ghost in the Shell, even bits of Akira, there's a bit more story to them. At times maybe it's a bit confusing, but there's a bit more like themes going on, underlying themes. This is not really that type of show. Maybe later on there's deep themes, but it's much more of just a gusto, come in, have fun, balls to the wall quality to it. And there's a good chunk of people that like it for that reason, and I can understand why. It is fun. It's good looking animation. Looks nice on the eyes. And if you want to see gore, style, and kicking ass, this is for you. So, what more else can you say about it? Again, if you go in knowing it's not deep themes and deep thoughts you're getting into, maybe you'd enjoy it. Maybe not, I don't know. But I thought it was fun. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.